Imagine you're on a plane, surrounded by friends, heading for an exciting rugby match. The mood is electric, full of laughter and anticipation. Now, imagine that plane violently crashing into a desolate, snow-covered mountain range, thousands of feet above sea level. This isn't a movie plot. It was the terrifying reality for the passengers of Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571. On October 13, 1972, a chartered plane carrying 45 people, including the old Christians Club rugby team from Montevideo, their families and friends, went down in the heart of the Andes. The initial crash was catastrophic. In the freezing, thin air, survivors were left with nothing but the wreckage of the plane, a few meager snacks, and the clothes on their backs. Hope was their only currency. They huddled together for warmth inside the broken fuselage, listening to a small transistor radio, praying for rescue. Day after day, the news reports grew bleaker. After 10 grueling days, they heard the words that shattered their world. The search had been called off. They were presumed dead, abandoned to the merciless elements. Imagine the despair, the crushing weight of being forgotten by the world. But in that moment of ultimate hopelessness, a profound shift occurred. They realized that if they were going to survive, they had to rely on themselves. They weren't just waiting for a miracle anymore. They had to asterisk become asterisk. The miracle. The conditions were beyond brutal. Temperatures plummeted far below freezing at night. Starvation gnawed at them, and the high altitude made every breath a struggle. They faced avalanches that buried the fuselage, claiming even more lives. It was a relentless battle against nature at its most unforgiving. In the face of starvation, the survivors were forced to make an unthinkable decision, one that has been debated and discussed for decades. Surrounded by the bodies of their deceased friends and teammates, they made a solemn pact to use their bodies as sustenance to allow others to live. It was a choice born not of barbarism, but of a desperate, sacred promise to see their families again. Juan Bernardo Pajado later said, "I would have been proud if my body had been used for my friends to live." This decision, however harrowing, gave them the physical strength to keep going. But physical strength alone wasn't enough. They needed a plan. They needed to escape their frozen prison. The group's leaders, including Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, knew that staying put meant certain death. Their only hope was to cross the immense, seemingly impassable Andes, on foot to find help in Chile. It was a mission that seemed impossible. They had no mountaineering gear, no proper clothing, and no idea what lay ahead. They fashioned a sleeping bag from the plane's insulation and embarked on what would become one of the most audacious treks in human history. For 10 days, Parado and Canessa climbed treacherous peaks, navigated icy glaciers, and battled exhaustion and frostbite. They were driven by images of their families, by the memory of those they'd lost, and by the weight of the lives waiting for them back at the fuselage. After an incredible journey, on the 10th day of their trek, they spotted a man on horseback across a river, a Chilean farmer named Sergio Ca. It was the first sign of human life they had seen in 72 days. Too weak to cross the raging river, Canessa scribbled a note, tied it to a rock, and threw it across. The note read, "I come from a plane that fell in the mountains. I am your... We have 14 people alive in the plane. We are hungry. Please." The world was stunned. The miracle of the Andes was real. Helicopters were dispatched, and the remaining 14 survivors were rescued from the crash site. After 72 days of enduring the unimaginable, they were finally safe. Their story isn't just about a plane crash. It's a profound testament to the limits of human endurance, the power of teamwork, and the unbreakable will to live. It forces us to ask ourselves, what would we do to survive? How far would we go for the people we love? The story of Flight 571 reminds us that even in the darkest, most hopeless of circumstances, the human spirit can find a way not just to endure, but to triumph. It's a powerful lesson in resilience, courage, and the deep bonds that connect us all. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible stories of survival and the human spirit. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stay inspired.